What's up, Gemini? This is going to be first the description of the actual card pull itself, and then we'll go into the actual reading. This card is from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck by Adriana Ayales. Okay? And this particular card is Cordyceps with the subtext of revival. And the description reads, energy, renewal, soaring to new heights, opportunity, activation, resurrection, and originally described 2,000 years ago in traditional Chinese medicine and Tibetan medicine as an exotic caterpillar fungus or winter worm. Cordyceps is a parasitic fungus that grows out of the head of mummified caterpillars, insects, many kinds of larvae. It has been gathered at high altitudes, primarily in Nepal and Tibet. So far, there are over 1,000 recognized species of cordyceps, as many as there are different hosts on which it grows. The first peoples to discover the many benefits of cordyceps initially observed animals eating the wild fungus, growing strong in the process. Farmers and herders either dried fungus to make a tonic tea, cooked it with meat in traditional Tibetan dishes, and in traditional Chinese medicine, it has been used as a heal-all for centuries to treat fatigue, weakness, sickness, low sex drive, kidney conditions, and heart disease. Now, modern Chinese medicine, Now, modern Chinese medical hospitals use cultivated forms of Ophiocordyceps sinensis alongside with pharmaceuticals to treat as a treatment for cancer and tumors. Monks have long revered cordyceps as a longevity mushroom and utilize it to boost endurance and enhance lung capacity. Thousands of years later, studies now confirm that it indeed slows the effects of aging and stress, helping to keep the body free from disease. Ruled by the wise, stimulating expansive powers of Jupiter, cordyceps provides a jovial energy, a sense of renewal, resilience, and accomplishment. Jupiter's herbs are amplifiers, joyful, mood-enhancing herbs that inspire positive feelings. Guidance. This is the guidance section. It's time to soar to new heights. Energy is available to manifest your greatest dreams. Passion is in alignment with knowledge. Energy is in alignment with matter. Like the great eagle, you are blessed with the connection to the divine. You have an innate ability to live in the realm of spirit, yet remain connected and balanced with the realms of earth. From the height of the clouds where the Great Spirit dwells, the great eagle mirrors your ability to observe with expansive awareness and achieve great sight beyond the mundane. Eagle and cordyceps represent the courage to channel the higher mind into the realm of illumination, higher consciousness, and if you have been walking in the shadows, you are being asked to reconnect with the element of ether, divine, and your higher mind. Heal your broken wings with love and seek a higher ground to observe the greatness of all you're made of. Okay, so gotta organize the thoughts here. There's a few. I want to first say the idea of cordyceps here. First off, I really like this card in general, but the idea here of what the first message I'll say is the idea of Uranus. Uranus has just recently entered Gemini, and that could mean a lot of things, but it is of significance to the Gemini energy in a lot of ways. In terms of this idea, what we're going to talk about now is the idea of being able to provide a level of insight and level of awareness that's going to be very important today. Don't I feel like I'm gonna like overflow with like kind of astrology talk, rather than the actual reading itself. But I think some of the stuff you really should understand. Uranus, that's like kind of like there's a higher intelligence that comes with Uranus, right? That stroke of when it comes down to the genius, ingenuity, stuff like that. Being in the sign of Gemini, it can simply awaken that within you in a lot of ways, or for it can inspire you to begin to awaken others. And that idea of what is and what can be, I particularly want to hammer down on, because that's the concept, that's the purpose of this Renaissance. Uranus being in this particular sign, it'll be here till 2033, and this idea of Uranus in Gemini, the reading is really telling me that you can provide very very valuable insight in terms of the potential of humanity in this Renaissance, right? Or just the potential period in this Renaissance. And there is something that there are things that you may have in your particular mindset that you're kind of going to be more inspired to share with the world, and I recommend that you do that. And this idea of cordyceps being hosted in it's hosted in the head, and this idea of what's happening now. You should understand that there is a very real change we're undergoing, right? And I'm talking to particularly the people who are seeing this message more so recent. I think we're going through the change, and we may go through it for a while, right? But the idea of what you have now, it's something that may aid in this idea of revival, right? This message being able to this message that you have, what you spread in the world, helping in the concept of revival, because when it does come down to where we're at today, you should understand that we are very much sick. We are sick. We do have a sickness. We have a sick society that we're living in today. And moving us into the future, it may come with an element of really destruction before the growth, right? And I think that's a particularly hard thing to hear for a lot of people, and I think it is and I hope that when I say destruction, hopefully that's not something that manifests into something too horrible in the 3D realm. But in terms of the actual idea of what needs to happen behind the scenes, there is a destruction that needs to take place. There is a rebirth. And what you can provide, is telling me that you can work with this to bridge us better into the actual now. Now, like I said, I'm not supposed to get too much into, or I wasn't going to get too much into the astrology, but the idea here is that we're moving into this age of Aquarius, right? And many of us have heard this, but this idea of Gemini. Gemini is, for those that don't know, is ruled by Mercury, right? Gemini ruled by Mercury. Mercury, I I designate this as the actual Aquarius as the exalted ruler of Mercury, right? So this concept of what's happening in is already going to have relevance, particularly with the concept of Mercury, but also with the concept of Uranus in Gemini. Uranus rules over Aquarius. Um, there's a very real concept that's forming in terms of how you see the world, the message that you spread to the world, and how far-reaching it really may be. There's a there's a person, particularly what's his name, Isaac Asimov, right? He's an author, he's a writer, and he had this particular series, right? But there was one guy in the series. Forget his name. He's like some kind of like just let's just call him like a really smart guy. I forget this actual title or whatever. He's like some kind of theoretician or something. I don't even know. But the idea here is that he saw the destruction of society, and he took steps to save really the time we spend in dark ages as a society. And I really hope that's never going to be the case, but I want you guys to understand that you are here for a reason, right? This idea of where we're at now, where we're at today, it's not a mistake. What happens today, we're in a very transformative period now, right? And I think a lot of generations before us have been able to say that, but particularly now, this age of the internet that we're in its infancy. We're not even walking yet. We're not even walking yet. We're still in diapers. Like this, you need to understand that. This idea of how we move forward in the future and what's happening now, how we're being affected now. You may have to look at what is going on and how you can help heal, because personally I will say I definitely understand that we need to simply repair our relationship with technology in so many different ways. And you may see something that needs to be heard, that needs to come out, that needs to be packaged and delivered to different people. And I hope you do that. I hope you really take the time out and do that and see it not as a responsibility or not as something like self-aggrandizing, but more so just your responsibility to the future generations. And with that being said, Gemini, I hope you have a good week.